All right, so this is, when I say we make the brackets, this is all made in-house,
Wow.
yeah? So this here is your front bracket.
You got the CNC cutter and everything, or no?
We've got Dave, man. We've got Dave. We've got Dave. He's like Robocop, mate.
Welcome to a new Dave's Classic Garage Tours video. Today I'm down on Phillip Island to meet Tim at Dirty Dog Outlaws, builders of the Outlaw Speedster, a car that's certainly shaken up the kit car world.
Right, Tim.
Hey, mate.
How you doing?
Good bloke. How you going?
Nice, mate. Thanks for allowing us to come along today.
Welcome, mate. Welcome.
Right, Dirty Dog Outlaws. This your company? How's it come about?
Came about, it's more of a passion project, really, by accident. So I just always loved cars and building stuff, and I'm a renderer by trade, so it's not my trade to build cars. But yeah, I just love cars and started building one for myself. I didn't fit in one of those. You know what I mean?
Right.
Have a look at the size of me. Are you serious or what? So I get in there and I look like a sardine. So I thought, nah, I want to build something a little bit bigger and maybe something I can drive every day. And I haven't got 500 grand to buy one of those. So then I thought I'll build one of these. I built it in my garage here on Phillip Island. It took me probably 2 years to get to this point. I had a lot of help with, from people along the way, Big Dave, and we've got Andy in here. And
But the Porsche brand is something that's been close to your heart for a while, though.
Yeah. My brother, I was 10, I think, or 11, and my brother had a 911E Targa. And I remember coming home from school, and I get inside, and he's reading a manual, a Porsche manual, yeah? This car was in bits. And he's reading this manual, and then he goes, I'm going to rebuild the gearbox. Just from a manual. Anyway, I come home the next day and the guy's got the gearbox on our coffee table and he's rebuilding it. And then I was always with him. I was at his feet, and I grew up watching my brother building some crazy cars, and the Porsche was my favourite, and I've had, a few along the way. But this was my favourite. I know it's tinkering with a classic design, and I think that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do an Outlaw, so the whole idea was, let's use like some of those classic designs, but enhance them, make them relevant today. Wide body, make them usable, make it look tough. Look at the arse on this thing, man. Like, I built it.
Well, let's get back to basics. Let's tell people what is it. I mean, that's a 356 over there.
Yeah.
That's built by a friend of yours. That's
this is Andy's 356.
Andy, and now that was a basket case, he said earlier.
Yeah, this was a mess, man. So I never saw this before his resto. So my hands haven't been on this car. It was a bit rusty. He had to do some work to it, and he did the whole Outlaw theme, and that's how we've become friends. Like a lot of the Porsche blokes don't like us because we're doing something different, but Andy, a lot of the Porsche blokes don't like Andy because he's done something different. So, right. But I'm not into just being a conformist and doing what everyone else wants. I just want to build what I want to build. So this under here is a modern day, hey mate, how you going? Under here is a modern day MGF Roadster. We also do them on MR2s. So you're starting with something, 1997 to 2006 sort of model. Starts, drives, and everything's, pretty sweet as far as mechanicals and that go. You've got your aircon, your ABS and everything, but then you've got the old school look. And that's what we wanted to do. So, I think it's a delicate balance when you're building anything, yeah? Especially when you're messing with, one of the best car designs ever.
Sure.
You look at that, that's just unbelievable.
Absolutely.
But I think we've got a pretty good balance.
Was it ever going to be anything else other than the 356 that you wanted to build?
Oh, my first car was always going to be that. Yeah, it was always going to be a 356. I just love them.
Right.
I love the look of them.
Yeah.
And really, I don't call this a 356. I call it, it's got the plate, Yum 356. Yeah. So maybe that's a bit of bullshit. but like, for me, it's my own take on it. I call it an Outlaw Speedster. Yeah. It does have a lot of those design cues from it, and you can see at the front especially, yeah. But that's, it's a longer car. The doors are longer. It's wider.
This is on bags, by the way, and it's just been lowered.
Yeah, this thing's out of control. Yeah. Out of control. But also I wanted to do something, after I saw that people like what I'm doing, I wanted to make it more of a DIY thing, where you don't have to, I don't know, man, you don't have to be a car builder to really build one.
Right, okay.
So, you know, when we do the kits and stuff, every nut, bolt, bracket, glue, all the mirrors and everything goes with it. So if you know how to use a spanner, you should be able to bolt one of these up to a car.
Okay, let's go back again. What, you know, you knew you wanted to do a 356, but how did you come about the MGF as your base car to work on?
I guess it all starts with, I wanted a mid-engine, because the slant of the nose is really hard to clear a front engine car. So it had to be a mid-engine. So straight away you look up mid-engines. And then you got the obvious choices, which are the MR2s, you've got the MGF, you've got some Fiats that have got the mid-engine as well.
Could have
you've
ever
the
been
Pontiac Fiero. So basically I looked at, that was the number one, mid-engine. Then I looked at the price point. So MR2s in Australia are really expensive, yeah?
Which
So let's say you went on an SW20 MR2,
which
or even an SW30. That's the second generation,
Right,
is the SW20,
yeah.
and the third generation is the Spider, the SW30. You know, just a shit is going to cost you, I don't know, 15, 20K.
Yeah.
As a donor, that's an expensive way into a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To build. So I settled on MGF. The wheelbase was close enough. The track was good, mid-engine, cheap in Australia, and there was one at auction.
Right. What's the optimum car that you would tell your customer to go out and find, or you would find for your customer? Presumably low mileage.
Yeah,
And...
get a low Ks one. Mind you, the high Ks ones, this one's got 170,000 clicks on it.
Right.
So it's sort of been proven, if it's going to have any headaches with your head gaskets or anything, it's already happened.
Of course, because that's the thing about the K-series engine, wasn't it? The head gasket.
And most of that is maintenance, you know that.
Right.
And a lot of it happened overseas more than in Oz, because overseas they've salt the roads. All those coolant lines that run down the guts of the motor would corrode. Then, you know, your coolant tank would fail, and then you'd cook your engine.
Right.
Whereas, look, I've been driving this for a couple of years now, 36-degree days, roof off, aircon on, and she doesn't cook.
No. So, and are there plenty of them out there, you know, in decent enough condition? I mean, presumably, are they looked after, the MGF over here?
Yeah, there's pigs and there's really good ones.
Yeah.
Like, I got a customer, Mark, he bought one with 43,000 kilometres on it. 43,000, roadworthy and reg, and absolutely mint car. And I think he paid, you know, 8 or 9 grand for it.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's really
Wow.
like that. So buy something. If you're doing a kit, let's say you're going to build one of these, you buy something with a neat interior, a good roof, and good mechanical.
Right.
And then if it's got paint fade or body damage or whatever, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
A lot of them had suspension problems, so try to get one that's got its upgrade on the suspension.
Right. So this goes on the original MGF, not the TF then?
This actual car is an MGF. The one in there is an MGF. And we've built on the MGTF as well.
Oh, right. It's pretty... Right. It's
Well,
all
the difference
transferable.
is the seal. So the seal's a little bit different, so we've got to modify our kit a little bit for the seal to fit.
Right.
So and the
tell us
suspension,
about-
you know, the MGTF's got better suspension, better engine.
Right.
Like upgrades, yeah?
Yeah. Right. Okay, Tim, tell us about the process. Let's get back to the basics of, you know, the build and how that, how you developed it.
All right, so basically, just out of the garage at home, I got the MGF, stripped it down, all right, and I owned some 356 molds. Old molds, probably, you know, 30-year-old molds.
Replica mold.
Replica molds,
Right.
yeah? But they're a wide body mold. And then so we made one body,
Yeah.
took it out, stripped the MGF, and then got the grinder out. And we started grinding. So we just finished this beautiful mold and then started chopping. Right. And I'll flick you some photos over what we did. But so chop the guards, see how the guard's fitting on. You know, obviously, I think the biggest thing with kit cars or any sort of body swap car is where the wheel is. So if the wheel's not sitting nice on your arch, you'll pick it up straight away. And that goes with track and with the wheelbase.
Right, yeah.
So we worked with that. And we just started grafting. So the first car had 200 kilos of bog in it.
Wow.
It had foam, metal, aluminium, anything I could stuff in there to get the shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it. And then there's countless hours of body work. We had a body shop in Queensland and that we were dealing with at the time, and they did a bit of the body work for us and stuff. And then we got to the shape that we wanted it. Then it was time to make the molds off it.
Yeah.
And then you make the molds, and then you rip them, you know, the molds come off, but then you got a car that's just junk because it's just full of bog. You can never use that body. So it was heartbreaking when we were ripping it apart and there's just body bits everywhere and stuff. Then you've got the basis to build these things. So then we started making the kits, and then the real work starts with all the actual fabrication, you know, because the one thing I've noticed with a lot of kit car builds or body swap builds, they go and buy the kit, right? So you buy the fiberglass, but the real hard work is that fabrication part. And that's why a lot of these cars never get on the road. You'll always see kit cars just getting flipped as shells because it's so hard to do those things. So then I said, in conjunction with Dave, I said, we have to make this like a DIY sort of thing.
Like Meccano set.
Yeah. So we do every bracket, like, so Dave did, he's a freak. Like Dave is an absolute freak of nature. He's a quiet lad, but he just, I remember like, he did those hinges and set out the geometry of the bonnet hinges. Took him a day and a half. I'd employed an engineer for 2.5 weeks, and he gave up and said, I can't do it. Okay, and Dave did it in a day and a half, and he hand draws everything and that. So he's gone through and he's made all the hinges work. So the bonnet opens and clips down where it's meant to be. But it's obviously on a modern day car, you're putting old school hinges, and even the door handles. He's gone to the point where instead of having a pull handle like a modern day car has, he makes a little mech to change it to the push like the old school.
Right.
And that comes in the kit. If you had to do that at home, that'll take you, I don't know if you could do it.
Sure.
And so every nut and bolt bracket, so now you get that, you called it a Meccano set. You get the Meccano set in the box, and then you go ahead and build.
Right.
And we've got guys in the UK building them. We've got guys in the States, up in New Jersey. And it's something that's attainable. You actually can do it.
Sure. Okay.
I'll just grab one of these and I'll talk you through that, you know. Like.
Okay.
All right, so this is, when I say we make the brackets, this is all made in-house,
Wow.
yeah? So this here is your front bracket.
You got a CNC cutter and everything, or no?
We've got Dave, man. We've got Dave. We've got Dave. He's like RoboCop, mate. So we got, so all this, see all this? Dave designed all of that to bolt up to the right angles on the MGF. This bolts down there like so, right? That sits in there. So your windscreen is over here, yeah? That's where your windscreen is. Yeah. And Dave's gone and designed all that. Yeah. That all comes with it. Like these are your boot ones, you know? So that sits in your boot, and there you go. That sits in your boot, and that'll open and shut your boot. And that's your bracket that goes and holds your rear clip on. So that sits under there like that. Yeah. And then your bumper mounts through there. Have a look here. Come on, come on, come on. See this? There's a bracket from there to there. This one's unpainted. Dave! Dave! You forgot to paint one. So this one here is unpainted, but that is your bracket. This is where your bumper bar will fix to later on. So this is basically the back of the car. So normally your MGF would finish somewhere about there, I guess. I would say, yeah. Like also, I mean, we do them rock solid. We probably overkill it, to be honest, but and then all the little stuff, you know, like that's it. That's the latch holder for your boot.
Right.
You know, like we've tried to think of everything. Here's a few these are drawings we've had. So yeah, these are drawings that we've transferred to CAD, right? But let me see. I love this stuff. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it in here. Yeah, all right. I want to show you the levels this bloke Dave. All right, like it's one thing working with him every day and we see it every day, yeah. But he did this. He just sat down one day and I saw him drawing. I just leave him alone because he doesn't listen to anything I ask him to do anyway. And so, but he drew. So you can see he hand drew all of this, and he went through and manufactured every single part. This is proper old school, and that's like
absolutely
total respect for the bloke, you know. Like,
so what sort of background did he have?
So he's a sheet metal engineer, and just like he's worked in multiple different trades and stuff. But I think he's found his calling here because he's like, and there's nothing that I've put to him that he said he can't do. Like he says everything. You come in the morning and he says he can't do anything. But he just, when you like I said to him, oh, we've got to work out a better way to do the tubs in the back here. And he goes, no, it can't be done. And then he goes home, sleeps on it, this and that, comes the next morning, goes, yeah, I can do that. And he does it, you know what I mean? And we roll our own, you can see our roller over there.
Oh, yeah.
So we roll our own tubs and stuff. And you've cut here, you've cut your inner guards off. We've rolled these for you, they're ready to go. Why do we do it? You probably wouldn't have to do it if you really didn't want to, if you're just going to put tiny little wheels on. But we want fat rubber. Everyone loves a fat ass with big, big, big wheels. And that's why we do it. That's why we love cars. We plasma cut our stuff, and we've got a lot of old, like all this stuff. See this is out of the old Ford factory. Right. So when Ford closed down, I was on Grays Online, and I was buying up all their machinery, and I've got old presses and stuff, and a lot of old things that came out of there. This is our next show car. Yeah. Right. So this is we've done it in red with the gold pearl. It's going to have some, we're doing our own custom wheels now as well. Oh, wow, So I'll send you a photo of the wheel that we're doing. We just call it an Outlaw. And this was painted by Island Restorations, they're like 100 metres down the road. So I was going to Queensland, and in the end we're here 100 metres down the road. These guys are unbelievable, highly recommended.
Oh yeah, you see that pearl in there, can't you?
Yeah, can you see, can you catch that? Coin. Yeah, so it's got gold, a gold pearl with a fine flake in it, and then we've done the blackouts on all the accents and stuff. So the blue car will go up for sale, and then this will be the next show car.
I like this black stuff.
Yeah, it's just that.
So what's in the tub now? Inside there's
nothing inside.
Can we see in there?
So this interior is so that's another. We use a trimmer over in Queensland. And the reason we do that is because I was doing a lot of stuff in Queensland before. I was doing camper vans and all sorts of, and HSVs. So everything's out, dash out, everything out. And so we get the dash recovered, door trims, everything. Now you don't have to do that, right? You don't have to, but for a show car you do.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you've already had some really good press, well, in the kit car world. I mean, how's it being taken?
So, in Australia, everyone's out there to knock you in the kit car world. Not everyone, but a lot, Oh, you can't get that on the road, and you'll never get this registered, and this and that. And you know what? In a lot of cases, that's true, because they make it hard for you, all right? And I think in the past 3 years, 2 cars have got through in Sydney under ICV. Right. So, don't quote me on that, but that's what I've been told. But I don't care. I build my cars, right? I build them the way I want. I'm aiming for the UK market, the US market, the overseas export market, because let's face it, that's where you're going to get your sales from. And I build cool cars that I enjoy. So that's what we do. Now, the Porsche guys, some like us, some don't. Like Andy's a Porsche guy, but he's a Porsche Outlaw guy. So he likes us. But then you get pushback. What surprised me was the Porsche replica guys. Right. So they got up us. So, it's not on a Volkswagen, and it's not this, it's not that. Well, I don't care. These boys really got up us, you know. So, but I don't care, because I just build what I want, how I want. If you like it, come buy one.
And the people are buying it.
And there's no chance, if I just built a normal 356 replica, There is no chance in hell I would have sold one to the UK or to America or anywhere except for Australia.
Right.
There's no chance because there's 10 suppliers in the UK and there's probably 50 in America.
Absolutely.
The only reason we're selling is because we decided to do something different.
Yeah.
And this whole rebody, resto mod, call it what you will, is taking off. Because to build a kit car from scratch, space frame or even on a VW chassis, 4,000 hours probably. Mm-hmm. Start off with a car that runs and drives. You take your guards and panels off, it still drives. It's like a go-kart, yeah? You don't have to do any of that mechanical stuff. You just do the aesthetic of it, and you drive in a car. And Dave and I we've built one of these in a week and a half.
Seriously?
Yeah. We've built one of these. It was before Christmas for a customer, and he wanted it done. I promised him, and we actually worked.
So how many actual hours do you reckon you put into that?
We did
a week and a half.
Yeah, we did. I think I calculated it. It was about 110 man hours.
That's not much.
Man hours. Yeah.
That's not much.
No, and that was still because we were still working out of my garage at home. We
Most
did it
caterers getting them out of the box still at 110, figuring out what nuts and bolts you got with a
caterer.
Yeah,
well, we try to make it easy. Now we're still learning as far as that goes as well. Like we're working with Cam and Jeff over in the UK. They're building one at the moment and doing a bit of Instagram and stuff. And he goes, like, these guys are switched on. They know what they're doing. They had the front clip on within a day and a half. They had the rear clip on within, I don't know, a couple of days. They've hit some snags with the sill because it's on a TF, and there's a bit of tweaking when you're playing with the TF because remember I said the sill's different. But it's doable. Like, and that's what I love to see. I love to see people that they say, "Far out, Timbo." We've done it. Like it's there, and you know, there's cars driving around now. So we've been going nearly a year now, and there's cars driving around, finished. And you know,
how many are out there now?
So we built 7. 7 cars in total.
You've built 7.
Yeah, we've built 7, and then there's been I think 10, 11 kits now.
So there's 18 cars out there.
Yeah.
In a year.
Yeah. But not all were built. Like,
No,
obviously, there's some of those are customer cars and they're getting built. But like,
that's great.
Yeah, it's good.
From this shop, from 2, 3 of you.
Well, it was just Dave and I. When I say we pump them out, we pump them out, and we've made it easy. And we're getting quicker and quicker with everything we do. Because it's a bit like a production line. You get to know what you're doing and. I leave Dave alone where I have to, and I'll come and do all the light, all the lights and stuff after hours. But like that's another thing. Like I'll show you just here, for example. All right, see this, right? These are the lights. Now I could have just said, nah, it's not part of the kit. Don't worry about it. They can work it out. Yeah.
Right.
But then you've got to source the lights. Then you've got to work out how that's going to plug in and work on the MGF. So we supply all those looms and stuff. So you only got to connect these 4 wires, right, to the loom, and I'll tell you what they are in the back there. And then you've got your lights set up and go. So that's the extent of your wiring that you have to do. And that goes with the front lights as well. And
have you gone through different manufacturers to see which is the best one out there, or of the obviously replica lights?
Yeah, look, I think Stoddarts are the best, but they're pretty expensive.
Right.
And these aren't that. These come from, these ones, a Vintage make these, and they're good. They're good. They're not the best. They're like, if you want exact replica of the original, then you'd probably go Stoddarts.
Right.
But that doesn't change anything as far as our wiring loom.
But if somebody wanted to do that, they'd just unplug that and put it into the Stoddarts.
Yeah. Or just say, if they didn't want us to supply it, they can go get their own line, or just take the money off.
Okay, cool.
But and then like all the other stuff, like like this sort of stuff. This one's got the blackout one, but like see, they're the grills, right? And that's the curved grill. Okay.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, when you buy our car has got a bit more curve in the arse. So I'll show you, like, so we've done a blackout on this thing, right?
Right,
So you can see the curve is different. See how it's higher? So what we do is we take that apart and we shrink it and curve it.
Right.
So yeah, so we've got the shrinking tool over here,
Yeah.
and we shrink every single fin
Yeah.
and get it to this. See that? Can you see how it's
Yeah.
got more of a curve there?
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
And we get it to that,
Oh,
and then
yeah,
we
put it down again.
yeah, and then we rebox it,
Yeah.
and then that comes as part of the kit.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And then everything, you know, like, you know, cooling's always important. When Porsche had this car built, it was an air-cooled car. Well, this has got the engine in the back here. So we've got to try to get air out. We've got to get cold air in, and then we've got to also get air into the radiator. So what we've got here is the air box that comes out of the boot, underneath the boot. So underneath this vent, this sits in there. And you can see the locking mechanism hides. I'll just grab that out. That hides under there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you can't see that locking mechanism.
Yeah.
And then this will sit under. This brings the air out. So this brings the air out of that engine bay.
Yeah.
This is actually the opening to the engine bay.
Yeah.
And then it also has to have fall, so if it rains, it goes down and down and down through.
Now, was that something, each of those processes, something you found after you put yours on the road, the original show car on the road, or is that something you realised?
No, the original show car's got this.
Yeah.
The
Right,
only
okay.
difference is, this is one of the things with Davo.
Yeah,
I said to
exactly.
Dave, we need to have this as going, what's that, longitudinal, yeah?
Yeah.
But have a look at the show car.
All right, you got
It goes across.
Yeah, can we get?
Can you zoom in on that?
Yeah, we can. There we are. Okay, we can see that.
All right, so there, and then you can see the lock is showing in the boot over there where this is hidden.
Yes.
Okay,
Right, gotcha.
so we've made some tweaks like that
Yeah.
just to refine it,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
then yeah, that's that. I guess that goes through the whole process of, you know, building something and trying to better it every time you build it.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
Lovely.
you know, over here we do these. This is like for cooling over here. So this side is your intake side, right? And so we've got a vent that will go on there. I'll just grab it. And this, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into to actually designing it, making that. So that was all 3D drawn by a mate of mine, Archie.
Right.
And he drew this for me. Then we 3D printed it, made a mold off it, and that goes in here. So that sits in there like so.
So that shape there, the cutout there, is your input into. That's not obviously a MGF shape, or
no. This is our design,
yeah.
contoured, made for our guard.
Wow.
3D scanned the guard, then made that happen. And then so this is the side that brings air into the engine.
Yeah.
Okay. The other side pushes it out, and there's a little fan
Yeah.
that pulls the air out and squirts it out the side, this side vent. So at the back here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to get air in and out of this engine.
Wow.
And it's really important.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then so we've done that, and then out front, again, we've got a radiator sitting here, yeah? So Porsches weren't designed to have radiators, right?
Sure.
So what we've done, check this out, man. So check.
Okay.
I mean, that's 5 mil, yeah? We've overdone it.
Absolutely.
But we use this. So this is sort of, this goes in under here, right? Goes up under there.
Yeah.
And that brings the air in, all right? Sucks the air in,
Yeah.
acts as a bash plate, and holds this whole front in,
Yeah.
all as one part, okay?
Yeah.
And that, again, comes with the kit and brings air into the radiator. Then these horn vents, we don't put any horn behind it. And that also brings air into the front.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Combined with all of that, she also gives us, I reckon, a bit of downforce as well.
Right.
And a bit of weight, because there's weight in this out front, yeah?
Sure.
So that helps with the handling as well of the car.
Yeah.
So that...
It's not like an Alpha 90 one though. It doesn't go up and down with speed.
No, it doesn't do that. Doesn't do that. Mind you, if I asked Dave to sort something out, he probably
I'm
would.
sure it could.
Yeah, and then we've just gone with this black accents on the mirrors
awesome.
and stuff.
Awesome.
And you can see sort of...
How much is 3D printing allowed you to get on and do things here that, you know, probably 10 years ago, kit car maker wouldn't be able to
Look, the
achieve.
3D printing is good for the prototype work. I don't think it's there for production.
Right.
So, not for me anyway. Like our parts, it's good because you can get it quick.
Yeah.
So you send out your drawing to a 3D guy, he'll quote you, and you'll have that part in a week. And then you test it, make sure it fits, then you reproduce it, and then you make your molds and just go from there.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot easier, no doubt. I wasn't building cars 10 years ago, so I don't know.
Right.
But the whole idea of how you build a car now has changed. Like we still build with body bucks and stuff,
Yeah.
but if you've got a 5-axis or if you've got access to a 5-axis CNC machine, you can cut a whole car out, a positive, and then just the machine shaped it for you.
Yeah, yeah.
We're still doing it by hand,
Yeah.
and that's because in Australia the cost of that is exorbitant.
Right.
Like if you were to, let's say if I took a scan of this car and got my designer to clean up the drawings and that, and then I said to them, all right, carve me out one of these cars out of polystyrene, I think would be up for 25 grand. And we haven't made the mold off that yet. You still got to do your body work, and you still got to make your mold.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of guys are still using bucks.
Yeah.
But that price will go down because remember, like CNC and laser cutting was expensive, yeah? And now it's not. So, like, as the machines get more prevalent in the country and, they go down in price as well, the prices will come down.
Yeah.
But it does make it easier, definitely.
Okay.
But all this was done by hand, yeah?
Yeah.
So imagine, I'm going to fill you in on what we did with this car.
Okay.
All right, so imagine we started with this 356 wide body kit that was made for a Volkswagen. All right, that's what we started with. But it's not going to fit on this car.
No.
So there's some tricks that we did here.
Okay.
So we slice and dice this thing. So imagine you get a grinder and you start grinding. So we ground in here and we got ourselves 86 millimeters there.
Uh-huh.
And lengthen that guard. And that's why we always say, put a bumper on, because without this bumper, the front looks a bit snouty.
Right, okay.
So we've hidden that there, okay?
Yeah.
86 mil longer there. And then here, we wanted the Speedster screen. If you look in here, the actual windscreen finishes down there. See that? See my finger there?
Yeah.
So how do you make that Speedster screen without chopping your screen?
Yeah.
So what we did is we lifted the body by 86 mil. Okay, so now we've got a guard that squats the screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's a little bit lengthened on the front, but I think we've hidden it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
unless I probably told you about it, you wouldn't pick it.
Sure.
So that was one of the tricks. Obviously, the original 3.5.
So that rake on that screen, is that original MGF?
That's
rake?
an MGF screen. We haven't touched it because we don't want to. We're not making a replica. We're making my own design car. Yeah.
Sure.
So it's my own Outlaw. If you even consider cutting a windscreen in Australia, you'll never get the car registered.
Engineered,
It's
yeah,
never going to happen.
No.
So what we keep is door skins, we keep the screen, we keep the roof, and what that does, it means we've made no structural change to this car.
Yeah.
Early on we did, okay? So Gen 1, we cut the rear quarters out just because I thought we had to. Now, with Gen 2, 3, as we progress, we don't do any of that. So now it's basically just like a body kit for a car. So guys are putting Walkinshaw kits on Commodores and all sorts of body kits on cars. Well, that's what this is now.
What you're doing, yeah. Cool. Okay, right. Well, you've mentioned some bucks. Let's have a look at them and not
All right.
not the dollar kind.
All right. So we've got a half scale 356 that I don't know if you got a shot of the buggy at the front, but we're going to put this on the buggy. So I've got a designer that works out of Moldova, absolute legend. I'll throw a link if you want to. But he designs our bucks for us and designs our cars and does the drawings and all the STL files and EPS and DXF, everything that the actual CNC guys need, right? Or the 3D guys. And so here, I wanted to do a test run, okay? because I did that all freehand, used rendering skills to do it, right? But I wanted to do something a bit more accurate, so we got the bucks made, then we foam filled it, and then we've waxed some fiberglass down and then bogged. Okay, and this is going to be the positive that we take the negative off, the actual mold, and the next step is let's go full scale. All right, so this was a test run for us, but not only that, we've got people. I've got a guy in Belgium that's ordered one of these, and I think there's a market for half scale and 3/4 scale cars.
Absolutely, there's plenty of that going on over in the UK. At the
Yeah,
moment,
unbelievable,
yeah,
man.
absolutely.
And there's some really good, nice cars there. So we'll have a crack. We'll make the molds, and we'll sell the kit if someone wants a kit. So we're just playing at the moment, just seeing where it takes us, and see how we'll gauge the interest. Yeah. But this is, you can see, obviously there's a bit of time involved to do this, but you probably, to get this done out of polystyrene, you'd probably be up for 10 grand, yeah?
Wow, right. Yeah.
So it's a lot cheaper to get it CNC cut.
Yeah.
And look how it just all just goes together, you know?
Yeah.
But these, body bucks are nothing new. Like, they've been doing them for as long as they've been building cars.
Absolutely. Okay, right now you've mentioned the US market. Let's go and have a look at one of them.
We'll save that for next time, along with Dirty Dog Outlaws' latest head-turning take on a Maranello classic. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot. And you can help the channel grow by subscribing. Remember, that's completely free. Liking videos, commenting below, and sharing amongst other automotive enthusiasts.